Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I am Sir Tommy P., Defender of the Faith.
And I am Empress Emilium.
And we are the Nephilim Murder Crew here on another Sunday.
Good evening to you.
Yes, yes. So it's Sunday, so it's Catholic Chats. I don't know how Catholic tonight's is. I'm not sure. This is Emily's thing. We were gonna do this Wednesday, but she wanted to do it today, so blame her if it's not Catholic enough for you.
Well, I don't know. I feel like it'll be a learning experience for all of us.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to do something.
Yeah, I'm also trying to make sure everything here is working right. Okay, I think it is.
Take a second. Boo, boo.
Okay, yeah, we'll just take a second, even though this is stuff we should have done before we came on.
Yep, all right. Everything is where it's supposed to be. We are streaming to the interwebs.
Okay, sweet.
We're live where we're supposed to be.
Okay, well. Okay, so let me get this open.
Trudging right along.
Yeah. We are unprepared. I apologize.
We can kind of walk through.
Everything's in the bookmarks. It's in the bookmarks.
Yeah.
Just right here. This is it. Right. This is our whole show.
No.
Oh, okay. I'm just checking.
There's more than that. You know, there's more than that. You sat here and you read through it. I
can't find it. There it is. I see it.
Use your good eyes. The good eyes.
I don't have good eyes. I just have eyes.
Did you have your glasses?
I do. They're back here.
You're gonna need them.
Here's my glasses. I got them. All right. Well, this is off to a bumpy start.
A little bit. That's okay. You want to start over?
No, I'm waiting for you to.
Oh, you're waiting for me. Can we show the people something?
No.
Are we? What I mean, what are we doing?
I have no idea.
Miss Candace Owens has found herself in a bit of a pickle.
Oh, okay. So we're going right to Candace Owens.
Where else were we gonna go? I will walk off this set.
No, you won't.
I just might.
No, you won't.
I just might. You could look real foolish doing a show by yourself.
I could. I won't, but I could.
I know you won't. So I don't know why we're trying to play this game of chicken on the internet.
What are we doing now?
Trying every button that I have.
A little bit. Oh.
Oh.
You already blew your load on the air horn.
I don't care. It was better than biting my lip.
You could have done that instead. Or that would have been more appropriate.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Back to what we're doing here. Candace Owens has been in the news lately.
She is the news. People have just been talking about her.
Yes. Do we want to start down here or up here?
No, we got to start with her thing that started all of it. It doesn't matter what those people have to say if she wouldn't have done that.
This right here?
Yeah. And not that I'm like shading or shaming or anything about this. It's just the series of events.
Okay, so let me share this and you can read this. You want to read this? You want me to read this?
I got it.
Okay. All right, so here is a tweet from Miss Candace Owens.
This was a space that she had.
Oh, a space. Okay, my fault.
I didn't listen to it. It's almost 2 hours. And I didn't listen to it because I really don't care. To be honest with you, this thing that she's going through, I done been there, done that, got the t-shirt, read the papers, wrote my own little paper on it, and moved on. Right? Like, she's late to the party. I don't really care. Go through your awakening, whatever. Just stop being so haughty about it. So she has this space, and subsequently, people within the Catholic Church begin to murmur. They start the murmuring. They begin to murmur. And in the murmuring, they want this newly converted Catholic woman to be excommunicated for her opinions about Zionism.
So wait. So the Catholics want Candace Owens excommunicated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a like there's
I just want to make sure I had this right.
there's some Catholics who are upset about the way that Miss Owens has shared information.
Okay.
They don't like the opinions that she holds, and they feel that it's worth excommunication.
Okay. I haven't really looked into her opinions. So
It's
let's find out.
all so I mean like, but that's the thing is
So what opinions are these? Her opinions, her anti-Jew opinions?
yeah, it's basically the
So that's
whole
been the stance of the Catholic Church for 2,000 years.
right, and that's just the place where you end up when you look at history and you read things and you think for yourself and you take in information and you compare it to, I don't know, the world that you live in today versus what you have. And when the information doesn't quite line up, you have to piece it together on your own, right? It's called critical thinking. And that's the whole reason public schools are designed the way they are. So none of us have critical thought. And most of us that do, it's because we have a religious foundation. I don't know. What do I know? Um, so in this process, and Candace has always been not, I don't know, her whole thing has just been presenting us information. She never really had an opinion on vaccines or anything like that until she had her child, until she herself was subjected to saying that I don't want this medical intervention because I don't think it's necessary. And then the medical establishment coming after her. So, like, she didn't have an opinion on it until she experienced it. So, you know what I mean? Like, she's in a growth process,
I guess.
and like most people, you just don't know about stuff until you have experience with it,
Right.
So I look at this stuff and I'm just like, okay, she's just sharing with the class as she learns, right? That's kind of all she's ever done. In my opinion, I don't really think that there's big motives behind it or anything. I think that this is a case of she said something that hurt somebody's feelings, and it's gotten them in their feelings, and they're trying to wield the little bits of no power they have.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Redbeard popped in with a great thing, and having kids or having a kid changes how you look at the world.
It
It
really
absolutely, it
does.
really does.
And it's
And people without kids will never understand it.
and you can't understand it. There's no
Yeah,
amount of being the auntie or the uncle, or no amount of being the godparent, no amount of, working at the daycare, right? Like there's no amount of being around children that's going to give you that perspective shift in life than having your own child that you're responsible for.
yeah. Also, now you have to think about past, like, oh, it, you have to think of the world past your own life at this
Mhm.
point now. Now the whole realization of not only your kids but grandkids, even when your kids are babies and small, you
You're
now you
like, they're
start
gonna
thinking
make people
grandkids
one
into
day.
yeah, like you start thinking generations into the future. All of a sudden, it's not about the here and now.
No,
Whereas before you have kids, everything really is the here and now. And
that's all right.
10 years into the future, whatever, you're not responsible for anybody but yourself.
Yep.
And yeah,
You don't really have to think further than next payday,
yeah,
And
pretty much.
but then when you have kids, it's like, hold on a second. It's like it's not just it's like this one and then that, and it's
Yeah,
the next like 150 years.
keep this thing alive.
Yeah,
Like crap.
yeah, yeah. The fate of humanity.
Yes,
But
that definitely is a fact. So anyway, so Candace Owens, we never even read this tweet. Let's read this tweet.
we didn't.
Let me put it back up there.
And when was this? August 18th. So what was that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Within the last 8
So
days.
it seems to me Dan Bilzerian, is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
Bilzerian?
Yeah.
And the Tate brothers have taken over your timelines this week. So today, the three of us will host a space further discussing why we reject Zionism. Any Zionist who would like to join the debate, please comment below. Okay, so she did. That's right. She did the space. I already forgot about that. That's how little I cared about it. But
Yeah.
I forgot she did the spaces with the Tates, and they subsequently got arrested right after.
Oh, well, that was so she had the interview with them, and then they did the space, and then
And then the arrest.
yeah, because as the Candace Tate interview was going on, what's his bucket was on with uh Patrick Bet David.
Mm,
So it was like the two big interviews of the week.
yeah, so much I forgot
Yeah,
about them already.
nobody that thinks for themselves gave a shit about those interviews.
No, didn't even see him. Didn't even care.
Yeah. So, and also the fallout of this is the Tate brothers got raided and arrested, and I nominate them for the first round of live stream Blood Eagles.
Yeah,
Because not only did they do what they did to all the women that they've lured and manipulated, they also got a whole little army of shit stains out there doing the same thing.
yeah. Like for the very little bit of good they may have done, it does not outweigh
the massive amounts of bad.
Like, let's not forget these are two Muslim men.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Let's just right off the bat. So
point number one.
They're Muslim men,
The
so yes,
Mohammedans.
they're most likely having sex with children. Like that's just it's part of the religion.
At the very least, they do not have an issue with it.
Yeah,
They can logicalize it into a place of acceptance.
yeah.
At the very least.
Yeah, I never fell for the Tate brothers thing mainly because
You're not a 12-year-old.
yeah, that and they're Muslim. I can never get past that. They're Muslim. They're Muhammadans. I didn't trust them.
Yeah, it's not.
They're not on my side.
Yeah, they're not. They're yeah, no. There's
They're
no
not. We're
alignment.
not on the same team. You know what I mean? They are pagans. They worship false god. That is.
Yeah, there's
I'm
no
not-
alignment
yeah.
of values.
I don't really care that we fall in line on one or two things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
it's
we're
not-
going to overlap somewhere probably. That doesn't
We're
mean we're
bound
on the
to.
same team.
Right? I like breathing.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, we
I
all
do
breathe
drink
oxygen.
water.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, that guy has shoes too. I have shoes.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, their money is definitely not haram.
Oh.
The haram life. Check them out. Oh.
Just,
Okay, so look at we're still
Just
sharing
some-
that screen.
Just some bros sharing stories.
Okay, so that's how it started.
So that's how it started.
Yeah, she did the thing with the and do we know much about that interview? Like, was she like all buddy with the Tate saying they're the best, they're good guys, or like?
I don't know, to be honest.
Okay, I'm just
I
trying
can
to
find a clip or two, I guess,
I guess I'm just trying to figure out.
where she is on this.
Yeah, like which side is she on? Which will tell me if she's on the right side or the wrong side.
Yeah.
Ugh. We probably should have been better prepared for this.
You should have asked these questions at any point in the last times that we were discussing it. So I don't.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. That's a.
I do better spur of the moment, as you can tell.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
My critical thinking doesn't turn on until that camera does.
That's on the internet forever now.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
There's a. Let's see. Well, I don't know if we should trust this guy's opinion, but he said that if we only watch 3 minutes of the interview, should be it.
all right. Did you bookmark it?
I did bookmark it.
All right. Let's let me roll up there. Come on. Man, we are really I apologize, people.
That's okay.
This is really I don't see it.
It's not under that one. I just clicked.
Oh, you
bookmark.
just click. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. My fault.
my mistake. Should have clarified. There we go.
A lot of these people
That is
Shkbakba.
loud in my ears. Was that loud in your people's ears?
Apologies. Let's adjust this.
Yeah, I did. All right. Let's see here.
in our government are being blackmailed. I wonder why. I personally want to hear my conspiracy theories. I think pornography websites are basically they're able to figure out what your demented interests are. So these people, they're making
That's
you
the
more and
algo.
more perverse,
Yep.
more and more perverse. Suddenly you're watching some weird stuff, and then they got you watching some 12-year-old girl, whatever it is. Boom, you're
Yep.
under their control. And I think this is what Jeffrey Epstein, all of this stuff is about, getting men who would be in positions of power to acquiesce to some like pedophilic pornography, and then they're under their control. I really believe that.
I think you're right. And there's two things I'm going to say. First, I'm going to say they've checked my hard drives. And I love to say that to everybody who says, Andrew, you're a human trafficker. They've literally checked my hard drives. For the last 4 years, my hard drives have been checked. Check the hard drives of 99% of people in the mainstream. Go check their hard drives. Here we are, 4 years into this human trafficking garbage. No one's even seen a video or a picture of a single woman claiming to be human trafficked. Right? It's completely insane. Secondly, you're right. There's also a psychological component, which I think ties into the masculine, because men are built in a way where we like to show dominance, and you show dominance in many different ways. But one of the ways you do it is by having access to things other people can't have access to. So I feel like if you get these losers and then you put them in a position of power for the first time in their life, and then you tell them that nobody's allowed to be a pedophile, but you are, that actually makes it more tempting than it was before. Not because of the pedophilic interest, it's because they're allowed to do something others can't do. And that's a power ego trip, which once again makes it more appealing. It's kind of interesting how the male mind will work. But I know if you take an idiot and you give him some power and say, you can do this, but no one else can, he's going to be tempted by that thing no matter what it is. I find it very interesting that it's Western politicians which are primarily caught up.
Okay.
Sounds like a Mohammedan.
Yeah, I don't get what this clip's supposed to.
I don't know either. Maybe the fact that she just sat there and let him talk.
Yeah, I guess like she was on the right track at the beginning.
I don't know.
Like I don't know.
Was she though?
Maybe.
Yeah, but if that's the most important 3 minutes, I just don't think I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I don't.
Just kidding. Yeah, I'm probably never gonna watch that one. I don't know. As far as that buffoon goes, he's got nothing. Every time he freaking opens his mouth, he self-incriminates. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
no,
know
for
why
sure.
these countries have such a hard time locking him up. That's just baffling to me. Not really, she said sarcastically.
Right.
Yeah. So anyways, so that conversation, she has that conversation with him, and then like 2-3 days later or whatever, he gets picked up and is now in jail.
Right.
And then they have that Twitter space where they discuss Zionists, and the issue therein. And
Okay, so this is really what it comes down to is design. Nobody really cared when they were talking about pornography and pedophilia.
yeah, no,
That wasn't
No.
that wasn't gonna do
That
anything for
wasn't-
anybody.
yeah, that didn't upset anybody. That didn't get anybody worked up in their feelings.
Once they started talking about Zionists is
That's the
when the raids came and everybody started shitting on Candace Owens.
yeah.
Okay. So it doesn't really matter what her thoughts and feelings are on the Tate brothers for this aspect of the story anyway.
Not quite.
Okay. So you could have just told me that from the beginning.
I mean, it does kind of. I think it does kind of matter because
I mean, it
speaks
matters.
to- It
It's
speaks to who she is as a person. So,
Yeah,
right, like if you're going to be a newly converted Catholic and you're out here, Christ is King. Why are we hanging out with a Mohammedan?
right.
Why are we being
why are we
so
simping for the Tate
polite?
brothers? Yeah.
Right. Why are we being so polite and tolerant to the Mohammedan? Why are we doing that?
Yeah. Why
While
are
he is
we?
actively exploiting young women and actively corrupting young men, why are we being buddy with him?
Yeah. You're,
right,
you're
so, like,
absolutely right. Yes.
So
So it
that's
is
where
important, which is
is-
why I brought it up in the first place. But if it's not pertinent to this part of the story, kind of. I mean, I guess if they're calling for her excommunication, like that is a big part of the story. Why you simping for the Mohammedans, especially these two?
Well, and
What
that's,
are you getting paid?
and that's where I get upset about it because I'm like, I don't think that once we get into this, I'm gonna let you guys take guesses now. Can we guess who's asking to have Candace kicked out? Does anyone want to take a wild guess on who is saying, Mrs. Owens, you gotta go for your Zionist comments?
Probably the little hat people. If I had to guess.
Wouldn't it be?
Well, they deeply care about what happens in the Catholic Church. You know.
Because they're Catholics now.
Right,
So
yeah.
it super matters that these people are being anti-Semitic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. It greatly affects them. This is where it gets all convoluted and
Okay.
where I decided it would be a Catholic conversation instead of a regular people conversation. No offense, but it's like Wednesday Night Crowd doesn't really want all the religious stuff, and we can't have this conversation in a secular way. There's just no way to do it.
Well, we can't have this conversation in a non-Catholic way.
Well, yeah.
Regardless of the Christian, yeah, we can have this conversation in a Christian way, but it's different.
yeah, it's different
Because
because the evangelical movement, the evangelical presence in America is Zionist.
Yeah, right.
Y'all can't help it. That's just the way your books were written. It's not y'all's fault.
You've been
Like,
trained to
kind
be
of it,
Zionist, yeah.
like it kind of is, but mostly it is not y'all's fault. Like y'all don't know that, and that's okay. Like it's on the Catholics to say, hey,
Yeah, and it's
for
only
X
the
amount
ones
of
who believe
years,
in pre-Vatican II Catholicism, because post-Vatican II
changed it.
changed the not I don't say the teachings, but the outlook of the way the church looked at it. Like, you know what I mean? There's Catholicism is stepped. You know what I mean? There's what they want you to believe, and what you should believe, and what you're forced to believe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
there's
Like
levels to
there's
it.
there's levels of, if you're Catholic, you absolutely have to believe these things.
Mm-hmm.
That's Catholicism. We'd like you, or we think you should believe these things, and then we really hope you guys will listen to us on this one.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And this post-Vatican II Zionist teaching of the Jews are God's chosen people is like that first year. We'd really like you
We
guys.
would really appreciate if you guys would adopt this doctrine, so that way we don't have to tell you to do it. You just kind of inadvertently do it on your own,
Right.
by the goodness of your hearts.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah. It's not Catholic dogma by any means. It's
No, it's just something that they're hoping will catch on.
yes.
And ultimately, that hoping it'll catch on thing stems from a mea culpa regarding the Holocaust, because at the time,
Yeah, this was
people-
1963, so
yeah, and during the Holocaust, people felt that the Pope didn't do anything, didn't do enough, didn't stop it.
yeah, because the Pope has
can do
the power.
that.
Yeah,
The Pope can do that.
Pope can pull Hitler aside. I'm like, hey, bud.
Listen here now, son.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but in reality, right? Like we don't now in 2024, we know what actually happened. We know that the Pope at the time was doing his due diligence to save the Jews that he could. He was running cover. He was having places deemed property of the Vatican, unable to search, and stashing people in houses. Like he did what he was supposed to do to try to protect the people he could. But at the time, right, like when all of this is going down, when they're doing Vatican II, when they issue this mea culpa, the Pope at the time, who called for Vatican II, had all that stuff locked up, and nobody was allowed to read any of it. Nobody was allowed to know this stuff because they had to pull off the Vatican II nonsense.
Right. Yeah.
Because the
church has been infiltrated.
Well, and also the American evangelical movement, which is based on Zionism, had finally reached a peak.
Yeah.
And also they finally had nation state of Israel to pump money into. We finally have something to like some tangible to tell these people.
Yeah. I got my
about.
tangibles.
Right. Like we're finally, ooh, we are so close, man. We
Yeah.
are so close. So
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
and that's back in what 1960 something, whenever they did Vatican
63.
II. So now fast forward to 2024, we have converts. Candace is a new convert. We are new converts. He was born Catholic, but I'm a new convert, and here I am.
Well, I was never confirmed. I was just baptized. So
Well, here I am in 2024 with 2024 history, knowledge, and discernment, and I have questions. Like I'm not a Zionist. I am smart enough to understand that the biblical Israel is not that nation state. It's not that government. It's not where all my tax money goes. Like I'm smart enough to know that, and I at least deserve to have like a teensy bit of respect for like acknowledging that I can think for myself, that I have come up with this thought process.
no, you can't have that.
And that's where the idea of anti-Semitism comes in, because it's anything that is perceived to be anti-Jewish.
Yeah.
So having your own thoughts is
Anti-Jewish. Yeah.
anti-Jewish,
That's absolutely right.
which ultimately being Catholic is anti-Jewish.
It sounds like you're being pretty anti-Jewish right now.
Well, that's fine.
But having thoughts, woman.
I mean, Jesus Christ came and fulfilled the Jewish prophecies. He is the summation of all of your forefathers' prayers and hopes, and like all the rules that they followed and all the good that they did gave you Jesus. Now you're supposed to follow him.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
Yeah, well, that's not how that works.
Well, it is if you follow Jewish history. exactly how it works.
I mean, I understand that they have done that this far, but like that's not how it works. Jesus says,
yeah, no, they've broken every covenant they've ever had. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Every time God turns his back for 2 seconds, they're worshiping another, brass cow or
yep,
golden idol or,
yep.
you know?
Some pagan god,
Yeah.
some
Yeah, God's like, all right, just sit here, guys. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Turns his back, comes back 5 minutes later, like, just they got idols again, or
I can't leave you
Yeah.
guys with nothing. You're worse than a toddler with crayons.
yeah, right.
Nothing scarier than a quiet toddler.
Yeah, that's the Jews. They're quiet toddlers.
Yes. That's where I don't think that she should be excommunicated for having thoughts and opinions.
Right. So, I mean, if somebody was calling for excommunication for her dealings with the Tates, I'd be like, all right, well, let me look into this and see what was said and how she handled it. Because
Yeah.
you're right. But yeah, no, for trying to excommunicate her for speaking ill
For
of,
just not
of
being
Israel
a Zionist. Yeah.
is anti-Catholic. She took the proper Catholic stance.
Right. And that's ultimately
The proper
where
Catholic stance is the Holy Land belongs to Rome.
Yeah. Yeah. And so there's a few sides to this. So we have the small sect of people who want her excommunicated, and then we have a smaller sect of people reporting on the fact that people want her excommunicated. So one of the people that brought this to my attention, I have found out is just one of these like chameleon accelerationists who just get in where they fit in and just try to make a mess, and have done so in two other organizations, and is now infiltrated / started being more active in the Catholic circles. And then there's a clarification on that one, kind of exposing the one lady. So this would be where you would hit the transition button and show these people what I'm talking about at any point in the last 5 minutes of me filibustering.
Okay, I have transitioned. So, E. Michael Jones. Is that what we're reading here?
We're gonna do that Carolina, whatever.
Oh, we're gonna Carolina post
Bonita.
first.
Yeah, because she's the one that brings up.
Oh,
She qualifies
man,
herself.
it's a long post.
It is a long post. So first in this top paragraph, she qualifies herself, and she says that she has been a Catholic CCE and RCIA teacher for over 20 years.
Oh, she's a woman's RCIA. Yep. Okay. So I already know how liberal and
Exactly.
anti-Catholic this woman is. Got it.
Exactly. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
You already outed yourself in the first paragraph, and now everything you say is
That is the worst part about converting, is knowing I'm gonna have to sit in classes for weeks with some really anti-Catholic fucking Vatican II.
I'm gonna, as long as it will not embarrass my husband, I will ask for the class with, give me somebody serious. Give me a nun or give me a priest. And
Yeah,
if you can't provide me one of those, then
yeah, no, that's not how it works.
What do you mean that's not how it works?
You gotta go through the initiation. You gotta sit through the class, and then you can tell them how wrong they are once you get confirmed. I don't write the rules, man. Get your head off the microphone.
I don't know if I'm ready for this level of submission.
You are. You have to be. You don't have a choice. Your husband said so.
You know what? I hear you, but
there's no buts. You were in mass today. You heard what it said.
No, I know that.
We'll cover that. Those of you that didn't go to Catholic mass today.
I don't want to maliciously comply my way into Catholicism. I don't want that for me.
Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you.
So that's a me thing. I gotta not maliciously comply. I just gotta submit to this dumb bitch who actually hates this stuff and has no business doing this and no authority to do this. But here I am. I gotta take my instructions. If I'm a bad Catholic, I'll just blame it on this old broad.
The only other way to do it is find a priest who's willing to give you private instruction. That's really hard this day and age. Yeah, because most priests are busy running a school and doing this and that, and they have no time. Those are your two options.
Now I know why church numbers have been declining.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it's a perfect system, man. I knew it. I knew it was flawed when I got into it. But once you get in through the flawed system, you are in the one true Holy and Apostolic Catholic Church, man. You're in communion with the church. You go to the Latin masses. You do the more traditional. You do the religion it was meant to be done. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
You get to participate in the thousands of years of tradition.
After the lady
After-
teaches you to come in.
Yes, after
After this new fandangled thing
It's
that's
your
less than 100 years old.
it's honestly it's kind of like your first test to God testing you. Are you gonna buy into this easy, weak, fake version of Catholicism, or are you gonna do what you know is right and play it on expert mode like you're supposed to?
I don't understand what that means. Where you get in just to get in, and
Yeah.
then once you're here, you just show
It's
them all
it's
up.
a well, no, it's like it's like when Jesus was tempted in the desert, man. It's a temptation. Like, hey, you want the easy way? We'll give you. Here's the easy way. You want to try it? Want to again? You see?
Right. The easy way is to, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. The easy way to be a Catholic would be what? What's the easy way to be a Catholic?
The modern way, the way they're going to teach you in RCIA.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm just being retarded
Yeah,
here.
you are.
I don't understand what you're saying. Like, so you do the easy way in?
No, they're tempting you. That the whole point of RCIA is they're teaching you to be Catholic, but it's like a temptation. Like, hey, this is what you got to do. Don't look any further into it. Don't go do the traditional route. Just
Oh.
this is play it on easy mode.
Well, it doesn't matter if you're playing it on easy mode or hard mode. Once you get in and you get the freaking Eucharist, then that's all it is.
Eh, not really. I'd say there's plenty of people in the Catholic Church that go to mass and receive that are not in.
Okay. Okay.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it right, man. I don't know. It's in the Bible. Not all forms of worship are acceptable to God.
Okay. Well, at no point does he say women can be teaching anything. So
Right.
I'm overcomplicating
Yes,
it.
you're
Probably.
really just being difficult to be difficult at this point.
I
is all
don't
you're
think that
doing.
I am. I think that it runs back to like the chain of custody thing. Like once it's blessed and it's in the father's hands, it doesn't need to go to some old biddy. Like it
I agree with
doesn't
you
have the
100%
same-
on this.
So how is it? I don't think you are agreeing with me. I think
I
you're just-
absolutely am 100% agreeing with you.
So then why does it make it still okay to go into it with that crappy foundation? Then it's on. So what you're saying is don't do the easy mode, right? Just show up to the classes, take what they're going to do, and then be learning on your own
Yeah.
how to actually do this
Yeah,
stuff?
and go to the go be a real Catholic after you are
Yeah.
initiated.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Freaking obviously.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But it
Like I said, there's two ways to join the Catholic Church. You got to either do the RCIA crap, or you can find a priest and get private instruction. But good luck with that.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that doesn't even exist anymore.
It does. It's sort like if you were to go to an SSPX church or something, absolutely, that's how you would become a Catholic.
Oh.
But we're not driving 2.5 hours twice a week
Yeah, no.
for private instruction from a priest.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
Right. So that's my point. Is the only way is you got to listen to Nancy from whatever with her anti-Catholic Catholic spiel for RCIA, so that you can just get confirmed and go
Go
be a
along to get along.
yeah. That way you can get confirmed, then go be a real Catholic. Sorry, it's the convoluted way these days. I don't enjoy it. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. But it's what are my options?
I hear you. I hear you.
Comes to that submitting to God thing. God says this is
That's where I said I started that whole sidebar with I don't think I'm ready for that level of submission, because it's one thing to submit to my husband and know that his ass is on the line, but it's a whole other thing to try to put my whole trust and faith in my salvation into some bitch's hands who hates everything about.
well, you're not
Look at what
putting your
she's doing.
salvation in her hands.
If she's the one teaching you and giving you the knowledge,
Yes,
putting you into it,
yes, but
what do you mean it's not her?
it's not. Well, you know better. Maybe with somebody else, you're putting your salvation in her hands, but you're not because you know better. And Lucas says he's thinking of joining the Orthodox Church. Here's what I will say about that, Lucas. From my looking into the Orthodox Church, you will never be ethnic enough to be in the Orthodox Church. It is a very ethnic based religion. Greek, Russian, Ukrainian. It's very the whole religion is very ethnically based. You realize that when you go to, if you have never been to an Orthodox service, go to one. But I like the idea of the Orthodox Church, but there's a reason why there was an East and West Church in the first place, because it's the East Church is just very ethnically based.
Yes. Yes. And when you find any of the Orthodox churches that have online presences, they have accents.
Yeah, so I don't know. That was my thought or my feeling on that is I will never be ethnic enough for the Eastern Church. And by right, I'm a Western person, so I should be a member of the Western Church.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes the most sense.
Yeah, so that's where I fell down on it when my choices were going back and forth between the Orthodox and the Catholic Church. Was I'm a Western person, so I joined the Western Church. If I was an Eastern person, I'd join the Eastern Church.
However, if you go to the Orthodox church near you and you enjoy it,
Yeah,
there's nothing that says you can't make it your home.
no, for sure, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, you may feel differently than me.
Yeah, it may be.
I would
a
just say go to
completely different
some
experience for you.
Yeah, there was a big difference between watching Orthodox stuff on TV and then actually going and go to an Orthodox church. Is all I can say.
Yeah,
It's just yeah, it's different.
it is different.
There's lots of cool stuff about though, man. Like they have lots of incense, lots of like it's a cool thing.
Yeah,
Like, don't get me wrong, it is super cool.
I definitely understand why people are drawn to it.
Yes,
because it seems
it's very
much
more of
reverent.
a mystical thing than the Catholic. The Catholic Church in the early days set out to explain everything. They wanted to understand God's creations and explain them, whereas the Orthodox was much more happy of just it's a mystery.
Accepting it.
Yeah, just accepting the mystery of God and creation and everything. Like it's a mystery.
Yeah,
it's very mystical.
The mystery of faith.
Yeah, the mystery of faith.
Yeah, it all is.
The Pope is not infallible. That is not a Catholic belief. That's one of those things that Protestants say. The Pope can only speak infallibly, and we've covered this before, in very small matters of certain things. I don't know all the rules. It's so minute that like it never happens. I think the last Pope to speak infallibly was
like
Pius X.
Yeah.
In 1800 early 18 yeah no it's the Pope is not.
It's been a while.
Yeah, the Pope is not infallible. That is not a Catholic dogma. Nobody believes that the Pope is infallible.
No, anything that he says.
The Pope can speak infallibly, guided by the Holy Spirit, in a very small again, like I said, it never happens. The Pope is just the leader of the church.
Yeah,
he's a man just like everybody else. There's good popes and there's bad popes. But you're not following the Pope. You're following the thousands of years of Catholic tradition and doctrine and dogma, and you believe in that stuff. What the Pope says today, the current Pope Francis is a heretic. He's out saying all kinds of nonsense that is not only not Catholic but not Christian.
Right.
But as a Catholic, you're not required to believe any of that stuff. Nobody says you have to agree with anything the Pope has said in the last 10 years.
No.
Or the last 20 years, or the last 500 years.
Yep.
You just all you have to do as a Catholic is recognize he is the Pope. I recognize that he is the Pope and he is in charge. And if he speaks infallibly, which will not happen, I will then that is new Catholic doctrine now. But that is not happening. That will not happen.
Yeah, it's just it's one of the things that are said because nobody else has a Pope.
Yeah, but the whole the Pope is infallible and the Pope is it, like no, those are all lies.
Yeah, there's just no figurehead like that in any other religious structure.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, holy popes, actual holy popes in the past have had more power than non-holy popes, but that's because they were holy popes and they deserved it. We gave it to them.
Yeah, they earned it.
So
they earned it.
We just got on a little sidetrack there.
That's all right.
Yeah, what I can say to you, Lucas, if you're a Protestant but you're just not happy in Protestant land.
No, he says I'm not Protestant.
Oh, you're not? Okay. Still
trying to find my way to fullness of the truth.
Oh. Yeah, what I would say is, I don't know, maybe go check out a Catholic Mass. If you can find one near you, check out a Latin Mass.
Yeah, the Latin Masses are worth going to.
Yeah, I would definitely try finding myself a Latin Mass somewhere nearby. That's just my opinion. So okay, so back to Candace Owens. You want to start reading this article?
Yeah.
Okay, I got it back up on the screen.
Okay. So on the screen, we've got in that first paragraph, we have the lady saying that she's taught these classes for over 20 years. And she, what is it? One must understand that it's essential to remain discerning, as the enemy can exploit this enthusiasm, subtly steering it away from true Catholic biblical teachings and toward dangerous ideologies that can agitate her following. Her responsibility is greater, and she should be fully accountable of the words that come to her fans. Uh, so a little bit down in the third paragraph, she states, another one of my greatest concerns is how Owens addresses the Jewish community. The notion that today's Jews are deceived or spiritually lost is not only false but dangerous to irresponsibly spout. Jews are the bloodline of Jesus Christ, worshiping the same God that Christians do. We share a deep spiritual connection that should unite rather than further divide us. History has shown devastating effects of Christian anti-Semitism, but we must not allow those mistakes to be repeated. The Bible makes it clear that God's covenant with Israel remains unbroken, and any theology that seeks to replace or diminish that covenant is fundamentally flawed. That statement is false.
All right.
What she says about that last statement of the Israel thing, the covenant being unbroken, is false.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I like how she says right here. Yeah. The idea that she might be promoting beliefs with ideologies prior to Vatican II. So basically, yeah, she's just saying what the Catholic Church believed for 2,000 years,
yeah, up until this weird.
and that's a bad thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. No. You don't say like.
up until this weird new thing was changed.
Right, which again, it's not
Conveniently
it's not
timed.
official doctrine. I don't have to believe. She doesn't have to believe it. In fact, she should believe is
Everything prior to that.
right. Like,
Yeah.
okay, if you have a choice to believe this new thing or what we've believed for 2,000
thousands of
years,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the thing from 2,000 years.
Right.
I'm gonna go with the thing we believed closest to when Christ walked the earth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where the
most
more truth lies.
consistent-
Yes.
Yeah, the most consistent beliefs since Christ walked the earth.
Yeah.
That would be the logical thing to
Yeah.
do.
Like when people say nowadays, like, oh, that's how people worship thousands of years ago. Like, yeah. Like, why would you change
why
that?
would you? Right. Why would
Obviously,
you?
if they were doing it, in the time of the Lord, shortly after, when the apostles were still alive, like, why would you not continue to do the exact same thing?
Well, but
Clearly, that's what they were teaching to be done.
Well, but there's a new way. There's over 50,000 different denominations, and everybody thinks that they have it right.
That's why the Latin Mass is so great, because it's like, this is the way the apostles did it. This is the way they taught, everybody else to do it while they were still walking the earth. This is the Mass that they did.
Yeah, that's true.
They may have done it in Greek instead, but
Right.
it was the exact way they did it.
Right. The not facing you, the
Yeah. Ad Orientem.
the quiet. It's not really meant for you to hear. You're just supposed to know something's being said.
Right, yeah. You're just there to bask in the holiness of what's happening, basically.
Yep.
That is your job at Mass, especially the Latin Mass. You are just there to pray and bask in the glory of God in His presence there.
Mm. Yep.
Nobody's lecturing you or preaching to you or telling you giving you a sermon.
Nope.
There's a
there's
quick
nothing-
15-minute homily about
something.
whatever's happening that week in the missal. The Catholic, they what is it? If you go to Mass every Sunday for 3 years, you'll have read the entire Bible.
Yes. Yeah, that's the AB, and then
Well,
C
yeah,
readings are.
All the missals were kind of set up that way. Even prior, I believe, the Vatican II. Now they do it ABC, and it's like it's a cycle. But it
Mhm.
used to be, I don't know the details.
Oh, okay,
I'm not
but
gonna,
it was
I'm not gonna
set
talk
up.
out my ass. It was set
Right,
up
right, but it
differently.
was set up.
It was set up
in
differently,
a
but
way.
the same thing applied.
Nice.
You would still get the full Bible every 3 years. So
That's pretty sweet.
I don't know. I could be wrong on that too. Who knows?
It sounds good. I'm believing.
Right?
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm believing it. At the end of this lady's post, she says her last paragraph. As I conclude, I yearn for unity and understanding in this time of division. The criticism directed at Candace Owens comes from my heart and genuine place of concern for her soul, not of condemnation. We must reject harmful ideologies, embrace humility, and recognize the spiritual heritage that binds Christians and Jews together. I hope Owens will consider the long term spiritual implications of her powerful words and use her platform to promote repentance, unity, and healing and understanding. And the true message of the gospel, a message that calls us to love one another as God loved us.
Sincerely yours. You forgot that.
Oh, yeah. Sincerely yours, Carolina Bonita.
Yeah. Ugh.
So, she's one of them lady folks who thinks that she gets to do the vocations part without actually taking the vow of vocations. There's that. And then she's also pro Nation of Israel and also thinks that the biblical nation of Israel is the same as the people who are of Jewish descent today.
Right.
Woo! 3 for 3. 3 for 3.
Also, while we're talking about it,
Yeah. Oh, wonderful.
let's just since we already brought his name up, let's just pop this up. From Pope Pius X, or actually Saint Pius X, should I say?
Oh, yeah, St. Pius X.
No Catholic should ever harbor, much less express support for the state of Israel. We are unable to favor this movement. We cannot prevent the Jews from going to Jerusalem, but we could never sanction it. The ground of Jerusalem, if it were not always sacred, has been sanctified by the life of Jesus Christ. As the head of the church, I cannot answer you otherwise. The Jews have not recognized our Lord, therefore we cannot recognize the Jewish people. And so, if you come to Palestine and settle your people here, we will be ready with churches and priests to baptize all of you. Saint Pius X. So
In
I don't
1904.
1904. So I don't know why this lady thinks Candace Owens is out of place for not
Nope.
being a Zionist.
Nope. Well, I mean, I do.
This
but
is what the Catholic religion has taught for as long as it's been the Catholic religion.
Right. So, yeah.
You know, Jesus was the fulfillment of the Jewish prophecy, and
But we
Christianity
have-
is the Jewish religion, if you would,
Yeah.
or the Jewish people, whatever you want to call it, the nation of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. All right. So here was the other part of it you were.
Yeah.
So let me bring that up. In defense of Candace Owens, if you wish to serve the Lord, prepare yourself for an ordeal. Sirach 2:1. If no one said this to Candace Owens when she became a Catholic, the time has come to say it now. The real Candace Owens is under attack from all the usual suspects. Rabbi Shmuley.
Yeah, he continues to discredit his profession by his intemperate attacks. If Rabbi Shmuley didn't exist, Hitler would.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize there was a whole thing there.
Hitler would have had to invent him to make the Jews look bad. So, Rabbi Shmuley has been coming after Candace Owens. He filed a formal complaint with the FBI against her. He's just been anti Candace Owens since she started talking about Zionism like 2 years ago. This has been like a 3-year ordeal with Rabbi Shmuley. In the second paragraph, I'm sure this comes as no surprise to Candace Owens, but in addition to the usual suspects, we now have a new group of suspects, fellow Catholics. A group of concerned Catholics on Telegram is now trying to get Candace excommunicated less than a year since her conversion. And what crime did she commit? Not genocide. She didn't sodomize any Palestinians, as far as I know. She was guilty, according to her fellow Catholic accusers, of the sin of anti-Semitism.
Oh, no.
This is not new, although it may be new to Candace. Usually the shoe is on the other foot. So in my particular case, newly baptized Jewish converts like Don Goldstein and Rebecca Bratton-Weiss have accused fellow Catholic E. Michael Jones of the sin of anti-Semitism while practicing the sin of slander with the water baptism still moist on their foreheads. I didn't recognize any of the names in the Telegram list of Catholic commissars in the employ of the Synagogue of Satan, but one name stood out because Carolina Bonita had already tweeted a long attack. Um, so then he goes on. The traditional Catholic teaching on the Jews can be found in 1,500 years of papal pronouncements known as Secularis
Ludeus non.
on a twofold principle which states on one hand that no one has the right to harm the Jew, and on the other hand that the Jew has no right to undermine the moral law or the Catholic faith in the countries which grant them asylum.
Pretty much.
Yeah, for 1,500 years, it was a twofold principle. No one has the right to harm them, and they don't have the right to undermine the moral law or Catholic faith in countries which grant them asylum. How many have they been kicked out of?
109. Is that right?
Yeah.
109? Okay.
I think they're up to like 111 now, but
Okay, so I wasn't right.
I mean, officially, it's 109.
Okay.
But
109.
yeah, where does it say that here? It goes, instead, they cite the Vatican II document Nostra Aetate and make it say what it does not say, namely that the Jews did not kill Christ and that their covenant is still valid. Rabbi Mark Tenenbaum launched this disinformation campaign at Notre Dame University in March 1966, less than 6 months after the ending of the Second Vatican Council, and the Jewish-controlled press has been saying it ever since.
Wait, somebody's trying to say that Vatican II Council said that the Jews didn't kill Christ? It was somebody else?
Yep.
Okay. I don't recall that being in Vatican II. Wouldn't shock me, to be honest, but I don't recall hearing that.
Yeah, it's the. Let me pull up the Nostra, whatever the heck that word is.
Okay. What's it say?
In our time, when day by day mankind is being drawn closer together and the ties between different peoples are becoming stronger, the Church examines more closely her relationship to non Christian religions. In her task of promoting unity and love among men, indeed among nations, she considers above all this declaration what men have in common and what draws them to fellowship.
Okay, yeah, this is definitely. I remember this document in Vatican II, where this is basically the start of what the Pope is doing right now. Where he's trying to say, oh, basically, all religions are equal. We all worship God. We all might call them different things,
Yeah.
but they're basically the same.
No.
Okay, what do you got? Does it actually say that?
Well, number 3 here says the Church regards with esteem also the Muslims. They adore one God, living and subsisting in himself, merciful and all-powerful.
Oh, yeah, no. I've known there's been a couple popes now that chum up to the at least Francis has been chummy with the Muslims, the Muhammadans.
Interesting. Number 5, we cannot truly call on God, the Father of all, if we refuse to treat in a brotherly way any man created as he is in the image of God. Man's relation to God the Father and his relation to men, his brothers, are so linked together that Scripture says, he who does not love does not know God. 1 John 4:8. No foundation, therefore, remains for any theory or practice that leads to discrimination between man and man or people and people so far as their human dignity and rights flowing from it are concerned.
Yeah. Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'd have to do a whole separate show on Vatican II.
Yeah.
Probably won't, but
Interesting. October 28th, 1965. Well,
yeah.
so my My
Yeah.
annoyance with this stuff is like this. It's just one of those timing things.
Oh, thank you, Thorn91.
Oh, gracias, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're not used to that. We appreciate it, sir.
Yeah, Lucas, his blood be on us and our children, the Jews. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they said. They literally said it. They knew. They even took full responsibility before the deed was done. Yes.
Yeah.
And so what the 1965 is when when this was written, right? So also going on in the 60s is the desegregation, the civil rights movement,
Right.
the
Free love
free
movement.
love,
the
right?
hippies.
Like yeah, the liberation,
Yeah.
the feminist wave that was
It was
coming through.
basically the undoing of thousands of years of Catholic Christian
Wouldn't that be
religious.
like, man?
It was the undoing of traditional society.
Yeah.
It was the beginning of the end.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's how we got to where we are today. It all started then.
it all did for sure.
We know how we got there because we did that episode on
Yeah, the fallout.
yeah. Was that Father Rippinger?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We don't get what we don't pray for.
yep. So yeah, bottom line is Candace Owens is in the news not because of the Tate thing, but because of the Jews. That's good to know.
Yeah, she said,
You know, I have my own problems with Candace Owens that have nothing to do with any of this.
yeah.
Where was that? Wasn't there a picture here somewhere of her at church?
Oh, I don't think I bookmarked.
Oh, there's a picture of her standing
just
next to a
found it.
priest in a pantsuit. Like, you know, yes, you look nice, but there are specific rules. Women are not supposed to wear pants. I covered this last week.
I think it was her confirmation photo.
Yeah, but either way, like you're there in a pantsuit. Like, I don't know. I covered this last week. It's just not traditional. If you want to pretend to be a traditional Catholic, don't show up in fancy pantsuits.
Yeah.
That's my thing. And that aside, you know, she's always
I can't find it right.
you're gonna pretend to be a traditional Catholic also, but you're out gallivanting all over the world doing things, interviewing people. Who's taking care of your kids?
Yeah, how many does she have now? 3 of them? 2 of
I
them?
don't know how many kids I know she has kids,
Yeah,
and
she has
she's
2 of 'em.
clearly not the one at home taking care of them.
That's true. There's probably a nanny or 2.
So that is not very traditional Catholic of you either, Candace.
No, it's
So
not.
people in glass houses and whatnot.
That's true.
I don't think she should be excommunicated for it. Let's be
I don't think so
absolutely
either.
clear about that.
I think that's something that will be wielded willy-nilly if we give these people an inch.
Yeah.
And by these people, I mean laity who think that they have some semblance of authority or that their opinion is more valid than
Yeah, and that's the
people's.
big problem the Catholic Church post Vatican II is the laity all of a sudden think they're in charge.
Yeah.
It's no longer the priests and the bishops and the cardinals. It's the laity think they run the show.
Right, and that ain't
And
it.
they go in teaching the RCIA classes, and they're up there every week doing their weekly reading thing,
I know.
and it's just it
And,
all needs to end.
and it
That's or I mean, really, the answer is go to the Latin Mass.
yeah.
You know, if you don't, or go find. I mean, there's lots of variations of the Novus Ordo, which is one of the biggest problems with Novus Ordo. But
Yeah.
you can find a Novus Ordo church that doesn't have the laity get up and do any of these things.
Yeah.
You know, I've even heard of Latin Novus Ordos,
Hmm.
which may be a thing if they ban the traditional Latin Mass. You may have the Latin Mass priest, the traditional priest, just doing
So
a
just do a
Latin Novus Ordo in a traditional.
Yeah.
There is what's called a Reverent Novus Ordo, so they could do that they could do that in Latin.
Okay.
You know,
There's a workaround.
there's a worker. There will be workarounds. There will be plenty of Latin priests looking.
Left to do something.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
The
and lots of new young priests coming in are much more traditional than before. We've discussed this as well.
yes.
So
And they want to learn the most traditional way possible.
so speaking of the Mass, let me bring this up. Or did you want to talk about Candace a little more, or?
Well, I was just gonna read. Lucas put in 1 Timothy 2:12. I do not permit a woman to teach or to exercise authority over a man. She is to remain quiet.
Yes.
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 This is absolutely true.
The King James version translates to, but I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence, which
Yeah.
is basically the same.
What's the Douay Reams version?
Give me a second. I desire, therefore, first of all, that. Oh wait, no. Oh wait, no. That's that one. 2:12. That was 2:1.
Oh, yeah.
We want 12. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to use authority over the man, but to be in silence.
Okay, so same thing, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always got to check the Douay Reams version.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the one that counts.
It is. So yeah, so that's
So speaking of that,
speaking-
we were at Mass today because it's Sunday, and the homily, oh no, the homily was the readings, and the reading at Mass today was, "Women should submit to their husbands, and husbands should love their wives." That's basically women submit to their husbands in all things is the verse.
Mhm.
And there was actually a poll done by this gentleman, because apparently some Catholic parishes are censoring this.
Yeah.
I guess let's see, where's the poll at right now? 20%.
Well, I mean, for what it's worth, the lady that read ours stumbled on it.
Yeah, she didn't want to have to say it. She did not.
Not that she didn't want to have to say it. It came out wrong, and then she had to like reread it.
Yeah,
I thought that was funny.
yeah, you know she was choking
But-
it. She was,
Yeah,
because she's definitely one of those short-haired, older liberal women.
she's been fucking.
She was up there reading with her
henpecking-
husband's balls in her pocket.
Right, henpecking her husband for the last fucking 60 years.
But yeah, and where did it let me go back to the original post? From Bree Solstead. She says, "I was at the traditional Latin Mass today. That was not the reading, but I've been at a Mass where they censored it, and it shocked me. It would shock me too. So yeah, women should submit to their husbands, and husbands should love their wives like Christ loves the church. There is no middle ground. Feminism kills good relationships." And that is absolutely true.
Yeah.
Feminism kills relationships,
Yeah.
especially if you are a strong, independent provider type male.
Yeah.
And just want a normal, submissive housewife
And-
woman.
And not the relationships it doesn't kill, that man dies.
Yeah.
A slow,
Or he's already dead inside in the first place. And it
just
doesn't
a
matter.
just a slow death.
Not a happy man.
Not right.
Not a happy man.
No.
That is the moral of the story.
Yeah.
Uh,
Those are our grandpas who are just sad and sit on the porch by themselves, or our buddies who have the man cave.
yeah.
You know what I mean? We all know that guy.
Yeah. Those are. I noticed
we
a
all know
trend in
that
the
guy.
neighborhood of guys who sit in their empty garage in a lawn chair and they just sit
Oh,
there by
no.
themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's who that is.
It's sad.
That's the guy married to the feminist woman, the modern day, you know, I'm
Gotta
the boss,
get
happy
the
wife, happy
bag.
life type situation.
Yeah. I don't know.
It had to be the Jews that came up with that happy life, happy wife.
I don't know though, but like those bitches who say that stuff, there ain't nothing that makes them happy.
No.
I mean, you give them a credit card and then they bitch and moan because you say, "Well, babe, it has a limit," and then you got to give them another one, and then that's not enough, and then it's this, and then you can't say anything about all the packages that arrive every day, and you know what I mean? Like, there's
Yeah.
just nothing that makes them.
No, I hear you,
those
man.
People happy.
I hear you.
I just,
So,
yeah, I don't know. Sucks to suck. Couldn't be me.
so as we're getting close to the end of the show,
Mm-hmm.
on a note, if you guys hadn't noticed, our new mixing desk came in.
Oh yes.
Hopefully, you guys notice a difference in the audio quality.
Hopefully, it's loud
Yeah.
and
That-
sounds better.
Yeah. Hopefully, it sounds better. I don't know, but we got the air horn now. So
We have the air horn. We don't have to make the sound anymore. I don't have to make the sound anymore.
yeah.
It's in there. It's a button now.
So yes, hopefully the audio quality is improved. That was the goal. It sounds great in my headphones, so it's a big improvement over before.
Yeah.
Just on my end. So I hope it's better for you guys.
Well, and he listened to my Friday show and said that it sounded better.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, thanks, Ginster. She thought we always sounded good.
appreciate it. No, ma'am, it is not the Rodecaster.
It is the Tascam Mixcast 4. I compared the two side by side and decided this was the better option. It does everything a Rodecaster does plus, and it's like a little bit cheaper.
A little bit cheaper. Yeah.
But yeah, anybody who is thinking about getting a Rodecaster, I suggest go to your local Guitar Center and compare them side by side. I think you'll be shocked.
Oh yeah, they'll have them out on display and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, but yeah, I think you'd be shocked at how much. I don't want to say how much better it sounds, but how much equal it sounds with better and with more options.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is probably what Raven needs.
Probably. I had sent him the link for the one that I had, and you know,
Oh, the old one we used to use. Yeah, the
Yeah.
old one we used to use would have worked for him too. It had the buttons and
right.
you could mess the levels.
Yeah.
This one's got all the processing stuff you used to do post through OBS can now be done over here.
In
So now
here,
I can
yeah.
hear it in my headphones, so I know what it sounds like when it's going out. Whereas before it was a guess. It sounded like garbage in my headphones, and I had to hope it
And then
sounded
hope
okay
that
going
it-
out. Yeah.
Yes. That is the
Ugh.
biggest difference.
Whereas this is everything's turned off post. I've only got one audio input. Everything comes from the board, the desktop audio, the microphones, the pad, everything. So it's made it easier for me.
Yes.
So anyway, with that being said, I think that pretty much calls it. Is there anything else in here we need to share? Did you want to show this? I know you bookmark this
Oh well, we already told everybody we went to
Mass.
church.
Oh, oh
Or
yeah,
you
this
could
is
show
your.
it to him. That's fine.
Oh, I don't know. Bells and Smells Catholic Church. That would be a Latin Mass happening right there. The incense and the bells. Okay. So yeah. Smells and bells, that's the Catholic Mass.
Yeah, that would be.
Well, that's a real Catholic Mass. They don't do that. Well, I guess from what I've heard, there are some Novus Ordos that do smells and bells.
Okay.
You know,
Are there-
again, it
depends.
depends on the priest how traditional or how involved he wants to get.
Right.
But yes, I hear they do smells and bells at Novus Ordo. I have not seen it, so I said we should check out a couple different.
Find one nearby.
Yeah, well, there's like 7 Catholic churches within 15-minute drive here.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them.
So yeah, like you find one that's the most traditional that you like, and then if not, drive an hour to your local
So the other one.
to your local Latin Mass, because you know that's going to be the one you want. Okay, so let me pull that up. Boom, boom. What? What are you laughing at?
Nothing. I was just laughing at you're setting everything up. Road is just name recognition. Yeah, they've been in the game
Yeah.
the longest.
Yeah, you're right, Redbeard. You can pick the mix for about $400. You can get the Road cheaper, and so you can catch it on deals and get it for like $6 sometimes. So it's a little cheap. Yeah, the Mixcast is a little cheaper, but it's I don't know. I think it's a really decent product.
I feel like it's comparable.
Yeah, I feel like it's comparable, if not, I don't want to say
Equal.
better, but it has for certain people it is better.
Mhm.
If you're looking for a couple of these certain options, certain features like I was,
certain-
then I think it is better.
Yeah.
The ease of use, this touchscreen here is amazing.
Yes, that does.
And the amount of functions and quick touch, you don't have to dig through it. The Road, it's a little more complicated and harder to do certain things. Where this is just boop boop.
It is
Like-
pretty. Yeah,
Yeah, the interface is nice.
they did the work on that between this one and the one.
Yeah, well, basically, Tascam had the luxury of seeing what Rode put out,
Right, and then they just
and then just going, okay,
modified some stuff.
yeah, and then goes, what would make this a tiny bit better, and then just put out basically the same product with a couple tweaks.
It's a tiny bit better. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Tonight, Sunday. Oh, tomorrow morning, 6:30 in the morning, Central. I will be here for Nephilim Morning Brew. I've got Michael C. Hall is gonna come back and do another morning show with me. So in the event that you're up that early, I'll be here.
Yes.
Tom will be at work.
I will be at work. And Jenny, it is the Tascam Mixcast 4 is the exact name of that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mixcast 4.
yeah, Tascam Mixcast 4. It is a fine piece of equipment.
If you can read the name on the side of the headphones.
Oh yeah. We had the Tascam headphones too. Yeah.
Tascam.
Yep.
You're gonna Google it. You're welcome, dear.
Yes. Okay, so that being said, thank you guys for coming out on a Sunday. It was a little rough and bumpy for us.
It was.
We weren't
But we
100% ready. Emily got a little argumentative.
That's all right. There's been enough people that have bent the knee to dumb stuff, and I just don't want to be
I
in
agree
the
with you.
long line of knee benders.
I agree with you 100%. I do, but sometimes there's just only so many ways you can do a thing.
That's all right, because I guess maybe once I'm one of them, then they'll listen to me when I bully them about this stuff.
Yes. Yeah. You can't. They're not gonna listen to an outsider. That's for
Okay.
sure.
Well, I'm gonna end up like Candace, and people are gonna be saying, "Get that lady out of here."
No,
We're
our
like, "What
church
was
is
we
not that
thinking?"
bad.
No, I mean, it's not even our church that I'm trying to go up against. It's the whole thing. It's the whole.
I understand that. Yeah, we have a good priest. Father Adam is a good
I know.
priest, so we are okay.
I know.
So I honestly don't think it'll be too bad in his church.
No.
I don't think our RCI is gonna be near as bad as a lot of people's.
I hope it's not.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
It better not.
It'll be a little. There'll definitely be things I disagree with because it's there's things in our mass I disagree with,
Yeah.
but it's not to the point where it's like
Yeah.
It's definitely little things.
Yeah.
This irritates me, but all in all, this is still mostly accurate.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So, all right, people. Thanks for coming out. We will see you guys. I'll see you on Wednesday. She will see you tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning.
So everybody have a good one. Thanks for coming out. Have a wonderful evening.
God bless you.